Marco, it's fantastic to have you here. Will you please put your hands together for Marco Penge? Thank you very much. How this is going to work is we're going to have a chat for 10 minutes or so, and then honestly, it's your call. Because one of the great things is that, it's not often you get a chance to ask a question of somebody who's not just on the tour, but is unbelievably successful on the tour. And there might be something, you're watching the telly on a Sunday night and you're thinking, I wonder what it might be. So today and now is your chance to ask that question, whatever it might be. So anyway, Marco, it's great to see you. Marco, tell us, for those people here who don't know, just tell us, your links to the area, when you were a junior here, all that sort of stuff. Give us the background.
Yeah, I think I first joined Worthing Golf Club probably when I was about the age of 9. 9 to maybe 17, 16 years old, so I was here for a good 6-7 years of my early days of my career. So, yeah, fairly local boy. I'm originally from Horsham. Obviously my mum and dad travelled me down here to Worthing, and I always loved to come in here to practice and play, and the members and all the ex-players and pros that are still playing through here. Big part of my life, not only my career but my life as well. So yeah, it's great to be back.
Your mum and dad, are they here?
They are here.
They are. Well, listen,
somewhere.
Because without them, you wouldn't be here. But looking at the sort of demographic here, a lot of people here will have young 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids. The role that parents play in those situations is unfathomable, isn't it? Without them, there is no tennis player, golfer, whatever.
Yeah, I've started to understand that a lot more now. I'm a father myself, so I obviously wouldn't be here without my parents. Same for everyone that's here ultimately. Yeah. So they played a big part in my career.
Was your dad or mum a golfer?
I think my dad tried to play, and he'd probably tell me that he can play, but...
At what age were you better than your dad?
Maybe at the age of like 9, 10.
9,
We weren't great.
But you were a good footballer as well.
Yeah.
And you had trials at Reading and Southampton. So was there a point where you thought one or t'other?
Yeah, when I was 13, the Reading scout got in touch with my dad, and that's kind of when he said it's either golf or football. And I was kind of probably too young to have made the decision myself, but I think my parents must have sat down and went through the logistics of it all, and I thank them today that it was golf. And still a massive football fan. I love football. I probably love it more than golf, but...
So how good a golfer, but if you were making that decision at 13, how good a player were you at 13?
Yeah, I think I had a pretty good junior
What were you
career.
playing off then?
I think I was off scratch at that point.
At 13? Okay. Make a note of that, by the way. It's okay.
Yeah, I was a good junior golfer and achieved, won junior titles, etc. And it's something that I've learned throughout my career. At that time, maybe when I was a junior or amateur, what I've learned is that I was so fixated on my handicap getting down, and you've got to do this and you've got to do that. And I think it's kind of a bit of a stereotypical thing in sport that you've got to be able to achieve this to be able to become a professional golfer, etc. The thing that I've learned is that say my son's going to be a golfer, I'd make sure that he's enjoying doing what he's doing. It's where you are when you're 25, 30 years old, not where you are when you're 15 years old. So that's something that I would say I've really learned and heard other players say the same. Me and Toby had a conversation about it this morning, and we both agree on that point. So,
was there a time when you, were 17, 18, 19, that you were so fixated by how well you were playing that actually the enjoyment had gone?
Yeah, I think I put so much pressure on myself. I wanted to get in the Walker Cup team when I was 17, and I didn't achieve that, and then my golf went downhill for about a year, and it probably took 4 years to get over the scar tissue. So that's like a massive learning experience that I've had. Looking back, what would I have done different? You know, I wouldn't have done tons different because I'm really fortunate and grateful for the position that I'm in now, but that is definitely a big point.
Was there a moment in your career where you thought, because you never think you cracked it, but was there a moment where you thought, I'm actually really good at this sport and I can, inverted commas, make it?
Yeah, I think I've always believed that I have something special or whatever people want to call it. I always believed in myself. You know, I have beliefs in myself that I don't really share to others, but I've always believed in myself and I've always felt like I had a lot of potential. You know, at the start of this year, I sat down with my team and said to them that I felt like I was probably at about 20% of my potential. And that
20?
Yeah, and I wasn't very happy. I'm pretty hard on myself, I'm my biggest critic, and yeah, you know, I would say we've done a pretty good job and made some changes to my team because of that point. And yeah, the rest is history in a way. In the last 6 months, it's been amazing. So yeah, you know, there's still a lot more to go, I believe, and it's just finding a way of how to get the best out of myself.
I mean, you mentioned the last 6 months. For the people who don't know, I mean, you've had an extraordinary run to the point where you were on the cusp of getting into the Ryder Cup team. Can you put your finger on what have you done differently? You know, apart from obviously sinking putts that you might have missed otherwise, but what have you done? Is it up there? Where is it?
Yeah, I mean, last year, it all kind of stemmed from the year before. You know, I had to make the cut in my last event on the DP World Tour to have the chance of keeping my playing rights out there.
For people who don't understand that, by the way, can I just sort of chip in? The keeping your tour card is the be-all and end-all of a player. It's like playing in the Premier League of football or getting relegated to the Championship. And I've spoken to a lot of people who've had children who've been in that situation with a 6-foot putt, and they're either going to keep their tour card or they don't. And it's utterly brutal to be in that world, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, being a professional athlete, doing it for a living, that's the hardest part. Is the mental side of it, the pressure, you know, not only the pressure that you put on yourself, but the pressure that you feel, you know, others, you know, you have an expectation and a lot of judgment. You know, you're in the public eye, your results are out there on the table, you know, on the website, anyone can see anything. So, but just going back to Korea, you know, I had to make the cut in my last event to keep my card, to have a chance to keep my card. And I had to make birdie on my last hole to make the cut. I was actually cruising for the first 27 holes. I felt I was playing great, and I was like, you know, it weren't really in my head the cut line weren't in my head. And I made a terrible swing off the 12th and hit it out of bounds, and all of a sudden it was like, oh my God. Like, I felt so nervous. I was like, you know, I said to my caddy, I'm like, I feel so nervous. You know, there's no getting away from what was on the line. And it was kind of like, I accepted it. I was like, this is the position I'm in, and you've got to find a way. And I didn't feel very comfortable. And then 18 was like a par 5, dogleg left to right, round, and all hazard down the right hand side. And there were 2 fairway bunkers, kind of left half at the end of the fairway that I could reach.
It's not too traumatic going
through.
Honestly,
and I was, you know, I decided to hit a little low fade. It's a shot that I go to under pressure, and even then I was just like, I just want to guide it down there. I just want to don't hit it in the water, sort of thing. But I made the decision to myself behind the ball. I was like, if you're going to fail in the correct way. Stand there and throw some and do it. And it was pure. I hit it straight down the middle, and then I hit it just through the green for 2. So I kind of had like a 15-yard. Chip shots, and I needed to get up and down to make the cut. And it was slightly into grain, and I said to my caddy, like, do you think I should putt it? And he's like, you know, you're going to hit it closest, chipping it. So I was like, right, okay, now I kept trying to go into an avoidance of trying to find an easy way out. Unfortunately, in that situation, there's no easy way out. And that's kind of what happens when you're under pressure and you're feeling nervous. What I've understood and learned is that you get anxiety and you want to try and find an easy way out. But I've learned that the only way to get better in them situations is to stand there and go, well, no, I'm happy to fail the correct way. I'm not going to guide it, I'm not going to be scared of it. And luckily I made up and down and went on to have a good
How
weekend.
far was the putt?
It was 5 feet.
5 feet. Okay, so everybody here who's played golf, whatever competition they played in, just socially even. I mean, you're just playing a social four ball,
Yeah.
and you have a 5-foot putt, and you can feel your heart pounding. You think, what is wrong with me?
Yeah.
I'm in a complete state over something that has no consequence at all,
Yeah.
and yet there you are with a 5-foot putt that actually might determine the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So how do you approach a putt like that?